All right, for this video, we are going to be making something like this. It is basically one, two, if you can see that, and three sheets of paper. They're just taped together. I don't know if you can see that. And this is our identifiers for our background. Got my background here with clouds. I try to put some birds. I put mountains for my middle ground, and then for my foreground, I put trees, and I was trying to make a highway, but I don't know how much of a highway that looks like, but it's like a road with some trees. Let's take this apart so I can show you. So then, it's just taped on the back, nothing crazy. This was my foreground, which I did last. My middle ground here, which was second, and then my deer background. All right, so how do you make this? So first step, we're gonna get a sheet of paper. You're gonna fold it in half. This is hamburger, I believe. So I have the paper this way, fold it in half. I'm gonna try to point it down instead of folding it in half. So that's half, right? See that? That was the paper. This one. That was the paper. And I got it in half. I'm gonna grab my scissors. Cut this right down the side. If you don't have scissors, you can probably just tear it. So if you don't have scissors, you might want to go just fold it back. So I folded it. It was folded this way. Then I fold it the other way. And then there we go. That pretty much tears that way too. So now I have a half, two halves. I can place one half here. This is going to be my background. And then this one is going to be my middle ground. But before it can be the middle ground, we need to do a measurement real quick. So I'm going to place this here. I'm going to center it. So not to the right. I know this is upside down. Let me turn it. So not to the right, not to the left. I'm gonna place it in about the center. It doesn't have to be perfect, but about the center. I'm gonna place my finger on it. Then I'm gonna make a little dot right on the side of my finger. I'm gonna do that on this other side here. Put my finger right on the line of the paper underneath. Can you see? I'm gonna move it back. I feel like you can't see it. So this right here is, you can see that sticking out right here. That is the paper underneath. So I'm putting my finger right there. And then this is the paper on top. So on the paper on top, I'm just gonna put a little dot. And where those dots are on both sides is where I can cut. So without using any rulers or anything, I know where to cut. So I'm gonna go, can you see? Yeah, right here. I'm gonna go and place my scissors right on the dot and cut it. If it's not straight, that's fine. Just try to cut it as straight as you can. All right, now we have to do one more again measurement. So now I'm going to, I don't need this one. Now I'm going to place my finger on the edge of the paper again. I'm going to place a dot here. And I'm going to go to the other side and place a dot there. And that's where I'm going to fold my paper. So I'm just going to fold it. I'm going to find a dot right. That's the dot that I made right now. Go on the dot. Fold it. Try to get it straight. If it's not straight, it's okay. But try to get it straight. So that's one side. See, my dot is there. Can you see that? Yeah, my dot's right there. And it's folded on there. We'll do the same thing to the opposite side. Where's the dot? Right there. So I'm going to fold that. So now this is the piece of paper for my middle ground. This is the piece of paper for my background, and they go together like this. So when I'm done with my middle ground, it's going to pop up off the page. And now I need to grab a new sheet of paper. New sheet of paper. This is my new sheet of paper here. And then we're going to fold this taco or sub or hoagie. Nobody knows what a hoagie is. Hoagie is like a sub from Subway, but fold it. So if this is my paper again, this is my paper, I'm gonna fold it that way. So my paper is this way, fold it just like that. It's gonna be a long burrito paper. Got my burrito paper. Fold my burrito. So I'm gonna fold it both ways. This time, I'm not gonna use my scissors. If you want to use scissors, feel free. So I got my tear going. Come on, tear. There we go. And this one is going to be my foreground paper. So the foreground paper, just like the ones in the past, got to do some measuring. Not precise measuring, but some measuring. So same thing, I'm gonna grab my finger here. I'll put it on the edge. And for this one, just depend. It's going to depend on you, but you can do one finger if you want. You can do two, but I'm going to do one. Put a dot. Go to the other side. Put a dot. Then I'm going to fold it right on the dot. Come on, fold on that dot. Come on, fold on that dot. And if it goes past the dot on this one, it's a little bit okay. Well, actually, it's totally okay because you have a lot of space to mess up on this one. So that's my dot, and I went past it. Whoopsie daisy. All right, so I folded it. Come on this side, find my dot. Dot's right there. Just try to fold on the dot. And I went past the dot on this side. Oh, geez Louise. That's okay. It's got to be about right. Now this is my foreground. So I got background paper, just plain paper by itself, background, middle ground, and foreground. And foreground is going to wrap around it. All right, so now let's draw what we're going to put here. So you have to start with the background first because that's in the back. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but you want to try to think of something that goes in the background. A lot of you guys were saying it the other day, so you know what are some things that go in the background. So one of the things that went in the background when we were looking at stuff was I'm gonna do clouds first because obviously clouds are in the sky because the sky was in the background. This time I'm gonna do like I'm I'm gonna do it upside down. Hopefully I can continue doing it upside down. I'm gonna do like the little I don't know what you want to call them, poofy clouds. It's a poofy cloud. Make another poofy cloud. Maybe another poofy cloud. And poofy cloud. Oh, that's a bad cloud. That's okay though. Clouds don't really, you don't have a rhyme or reason. And then I'm gonna put a sun right in here, but I don't want to draw all over top of my cloud. So I'm just make a, gotta practice my circle here. And definitely not what I just practiced. There's my sun. It's not a very good sun. It's not super circular, but that's okay. It looks more like a beam. All good though. So I got my sun up here, and maybe this is, no, I can just leave it like that. Let's leave it like that. And let's put some more clouds right here, just in case. All right. So that's my background. Then let's say this is going to be a city. So let me get my middle ground. So here's my middle ground, which is right here. This is second. Second is always the middle ground. I'm going to use black. I mean, and you can use whatever colors you want. I'm just using the colors that I have right at my fingertips. So now I'm gonna make a city, which I'm gonna make upside down so y'all can see what I'm doing. Let me move this before I mess that up. So make my first layer. And no, the more detail you put in here, like I see that, that's gonna be a problem later. Let me just fill that part in. The more detail you put on here, obviously, the harder it's gonna be to cut out. But at the same time, the middle ground doesn't need that much detail. Most of your detail should come in where? Where do you think that detail goes at? You should already know. Detail goes, a lot of detail goes to another section. So you don't have to worry about putting a ton of detail into this section. You just want to have some detail here. You have a little bit of detail in the background. But then there's a spot where we're going to put a lot of detail. Who thinks they know? All right, so that's my, I'm gonna let that be my city for now. And going with my some details, I'm just gonna make some quick straight lines here. And those are gonna be like my windows. Not a lot of detail. Then get my scissors. Then we have to cut out the buildings. This is also why you don't want to have too much detail on this part, because you're gonna get stuck. You're gonna be stuck cutting out stuff for forever. You don't want to be stuck cutting out stuff for forever. And this, even though we're doing this with paper, this is exactly what we're going to be doing on the computer. You don't have to cut it out on the computer, but you have to make it just like this. And if you forgot something, this is a good spot where if I'm just cutting, you can go back and rewind the video, get yourself caught up. All right. So here's my city cut out here. That's my first layer. That's going to eventually go right here. So then I'll have something like that. I might want to put this up some. Maybe I cut a little bit too much off, but that's okay. So that should go here. My little 3D effect. I mean, I could have done better cutting right here. Maybe I can go and put the marker right there on the edge if I want to fix that. But that's my first layer. And to make this a little bit more simple, I'm going to get my foreground here. And I'm going to make a road. This is going to be like a Chicago almost, because Chicago has right on the edge of the city, there's a road. It's called Lakeshore Drive. So that's going to be the road. It's not going to look like a road. It's going to be two lines. That's it. That's all it takes for a road. It's going to be two lines. And then this is going to be like water. So I'm going to just put little, this is where all the details at. So I'm going to put these little lines here. If you want to do something like mine, when you make these little lines, I'm just barely touching the paper. Or you can do old school. You can do like when I say old school, you just make the little triangles. Like I got to make them upside down. There we go. Just to put the little triangles in there, and those will be like waves. I have to like think every time before I make one. So you can do something like that. I don't like those, but that's an idea. I kind of like my waves that I have. But anyway, that's the water or lake. That's Lake Michigan. This is going to be my road. There's usually like a tree or so right here. And I'm gonna put some bum little trees on it. Because I'm gonna put some work into a little bit more building. So these are gonna be what I'm gonna call my low lying buildings. And what happens is sometimes you get like, you can see right into the city from like Lakeshore Drive. So right from off the highway. And it's just me using my imagination, really. So you can see right into the city, right from Lakeshore. So those are going to be two buildings that meet. And this is like the road in between. And then maybe this building is connected or something. And then there's another building like behind. That's why you can't see. Maybe we have a small building. All right, so like again, this is where your detail is going to come in at. So let's try to get some, just try to go in a little bit on these buildings. So I don't want to waste too much time on it, but I don't want them to be as generic as my buildings on the other part. So I'm gonna put better, or try to put better lines in there for the windows. Have lots of variation. So if I did straight lines, I'm gonna now do dots. I just want to try to have as many different things as possible, because this is the detail section, right? So I should have more things going on here. If I was going to spend time on anything, I need to spend it here. And sometimes you can see the train too. Train, Chicago has like a train that is elevated, like it's lifted off of the ground. And that's going to have to be my train track for now. All right, so this is what I got. It's not that bad. Let's cut her out. And then once you're here, you're almost done. So I'm cutting it out. Almost done cutting it out. Almost about to cut my finger. That's okay. Make sure you don't always almost cut your fingers. All right, so that is my foreground. All right. I mean, if I had something I could go, and that'd be nice if I cut that part out. Let's see what this looks like. So now I have. I'm gonna end up looking. I'm just holding it together for now. I'm gonna have something that ends up looking like this. It's falling down, but that's okay. All right. So background, foreground. Get your tape. Get 2 pieces of tape. Roll your tape. Stick your tape. I do the other side. So that was that side. So now I need to do the other side. 2 pieces of tape. Roll your tape. There we go. Then wherever you want the middle to be, remember I'm gonna put mine a little bit up higher. You don't have to. All right, so that's that. And see, I put mine's a little bit higher. You can make it, you can put it down if you want. If you want, you can move it up a little bit more, but it needs to be, it needs the, when you put the foreground on it, the foreground needs to cover this spot up. So just remember that. All right, so I got those 2. Next, foreground. Get your tape. 1 piece of tape. Do not roll it, just stick it. Stick it on the edge right here. You see that? It's right on the edge. You see how I did that? This is the tape, that's the paper. Then we're gonna have to go. Oh, my thing is falling apart here. Then right at the fold, you're gonna go and put this on the back. You see that? This is the fold section is right here. Just put the fold on this back, on the piece of the paper or on the side of the paper, and fold it on there. All right, we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. And when you do it, oh, messing up my building. And when you do it, you're gonna just squeeze it down. It's gonna make it like pop out when you squeeze it down. So it's gonna go in the back, but you have to squeeze it down together, and then it's going back. I should have put that building like right in the middle. That'd have been nice. Oh well. All right, tape. Put the tape on the edge. So I gotta squeeze it, push it down together. I'm sorry, I'm not showing you. Push it down together. That's it. Then you should have something like this. There we are. Got my little city going on here. So the point of this is that when we are building things in the computer, we're basically going to be building it just like this. I want you to think of everything like some type of layer. We are first going to be building our background layer. We are then going to build our middle ground area. And then finally, we will build our foreground area. That's how we're going to be working in the computer. This is I guess you can say a physical version of what we'll do in the computer. If you got this done, go just like we did with our animation projects. You're going to go and lay it down. Lay it down so so you can see it. You might have to hold it up like this. Hold it so you can see all of it. Go over here. Go over here. Take a photo of it. I'm gonna put it on the timer just so you can see. Go take a picture of it. That's my picture coming out right now. Make sure you stay still. And then close out of here. And you're gonna go and find the assignment for today. And I'm gonna go to the one that says tests. Don't go to the one that says test. Go to the class. Go to our class. Go back to the assignment for today. Click on, if you're not on there, click on classwork. Click the assignment for today. Click on it. Then you're going to say, let me do this one. Oh, all these say the same thing. Let me see. All right, so then you'll say view on assignment. View assignment. Then I don't have that screen. I'm sorry. Then you're going to say add, where it should be in the top right, or sometimes it's in the middle. It says add or create. You click add or create. Then you're going to say file. Then click file. You're going to have to browse your computer, or it might be in recent. Most likely it's going to be in the browse part. Then find the picture and then click the picture to add into the thing or into the Google Classroom. Then say okay or go, whichever it says. And then you'll be done. And you just turn in the work. If you get stuck somewhere, let me know. But that is it for this video. Hopefully you got it done and you are amazing. Actually, everybody's amazing. But I hope you got it done. All right, that's it for this video. Have a good